Hello, Too Cool Stamping friends. We are here again with a live class. We do this every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and I'm so glad that you're with me. This is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am so excited to share today's projects with you. It's going to be a little bit different than we do normally. I am going to do some demonstration of how to put some cards together, but I'm going to show you a lot of sneak peeks from a really awesome class that I put together, and it's all using the Botanical Prints Product Medley. Now, if you're not familiar with the term product medley, what it is basically a collection of products that you buy all together with one product number. It has stamps, it has dies, it has designer series paper, it has embellishments, all kinds of things all in one collection, and they call it a product medley. So the Botanical Prints Product Medley, it's actually something I bought right when the January to June mini catalog came out. And I kind of put it aside and started playing with a bunch of the bundles, and I kind of forgot about it. And it is kind of easy to overlook in the mini catalog. It's on page 61 if you happen to have one available. And I was going through all of the last chance items. You know, we have the retired list that's out right now, and some of that products are going to be retiring on June 2nd. So if you want to know all of the products that are on that list, you can go to my website, toocoolstamping.com, and I have a list right there that you can print out. But the Botanical Prints Product Medley is on that list, and that means it's only going to be around until June 2nd. But after I started playing with it and realizing how much I loved it, I was looking at that list, and I realized normally you get all the products for $70, but it's on sale for 40% off right now. So it's only $42. So that is a fantastic deal, and I'm going to show you a lot of ways that you can use it. You've got to get this product medley before it is gone. Remember, this is on the last chance list. That means everything's available while supplies last. So it can sell out at any time. I just checked this morning to make sure. I was like, please don't sell out before I show this awesome kit. So it's not sold out yet, but it is at that fantastic deal at 40% off. It's only $42. And when we flip the camera around, I'm going to show you everything you get in the product medley, and then I'm going to show you how to make a few cards in my 20 card class that I put together, and I'll show you sneak peeks of all of the rest of the 20 cards, so you get a chance to see all of them. And a little bit different this week, instead of having a live class kit like we normally do where I send you out all of the different parts and pieces to make like 6 cards, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the free 20 card tutorial with a minimum order today, and then we'll have a second option as an add-on kit if you want the cardstock that you would need to help you put together the cards that I have in my tutorial. So I'll show you all about that as we go. And when we flip the camera around, I'll also show you the host code that you need to use in order to redeem that class kit when you place your order. Okay, so there's so much to get to. I want to make sure that we get started because I don't want to run out of time. I thank you. I see there's lots of people online already. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to flip the camera around, so hold on tight. Close your eyes if you get motion sickness. And I'll start showing you this Botanical Prints Product Medley. Okay, this medley is so awesome. Like I said, if you have the mini catalog, it's on page 61. And the whole page shows you the stamp set, and all the different products you get in it. So let me show you, excuse me. I apologize, I keep having to clear my throat this morning. There's something in the air again. Okay, so what you get in the Botanical Prints Product Medley is this really cute stamp set with very thoughtful types of fruit and flower images and a few greetings here. You get a coordinating die set that'll allow you to die cut all of the different images. Plus you have some leaves and some decorative corners, and I'll show you some projects with those. Then my favorite part is the paper. You get a whole pack of 6x6 designer series paper, and you get 8 each of 6 different double-sided designs, so 48 sheets. So you have these 2 designs. And the thing I want to mention about this, I love black and white imagery. It's so classic. But I love also that you can color and make this any kind of a color that you want. You can sponge on it, you can color with markers. We're going to do a little bit of that as well on some of these cards. But here's the first pattern. Here's the second double-sided pattern. I love that. This is one of my favorite of the black and white patterns. I always love stripes. Stripes and lemons. Here's another combination. And here's another combination. I'm running out of paper here. And then here's another combination. So you'll see that the color palette is Pretty Peacock, Crushed Curry, Terracotta Tile, and then also, not in the paper so much, excuse me, but Old Olive. We use a lot of Old Olive. And we do have some Old Olive twill ribbon. This ribbon is beautiful. Can you see the texture? It's really easy to tie, and you get 10 yards of that in this kit. And then you also get these adorable little bee embellishments, and they're made out of copper tone metal. So those are super cute. And I'll have to show you as I go along with the cards, because a lot of these I've already used up, but you get some sheets of die cuts. So you get 2 sheets of pre-printed die cuts in a lot of different imagery. These are the only 2 I have left after making all the cards I was making. But I'll show you as I go along which ones are pre-printed. You also get a bunch of labels, and I'll show you those because I've used them all. You get 4 of these beautiful die cut sheets, and they're in the Pretty Peacock on one side and Whisper White on the other, so that you can make this you can sponge on color and make that any color that you want. And so those are all the things. I don't know if you probably can't see. I wish I had the die cut sheets to show you, but here's in the catalog, and you can see the different die cuts and the different label shapes. And I'll show you as we go along which ones that we are using from the kit. So excuse me, everything that I made with this kit, or with this class that I'm going to show you, I used the Botanical Prints product medley, and then I just used a few other items. So one of the items that I used, if you want to duplicate the cards in this class, I tried to just stick with one die set, but I wanted to have some different layers that were die cut. So this is my go-to must-have die cut set, and it's the Stitched Shapes dies. And they were non-orderable for a while, but they are back in stock, and so if you don't have these yet, these are a must-have. It's all the different basic oval, circle, and square shapes, and they have the stitched faux stitching around the edge. So you have to have that in your collection. But I tried to do layers with those. You'll also need just a Memento black ink and some Stampin' Blends in the color palettes that I talked about. The Pretty Peacock. We don't have Terracotta Tile, but the Calypso Coral works really well. Old Olive. And we don't have Crushed Curry in the blends, but I used Mango Melody. It looked really good with it. So, or you could use Stampin' Write markers as well. So let me get to this. And I wanted to show you. Okay, so I've made 20 cards out of this, and I'll show you those as we go along. But even after making 20 cards, and actually I cut supplies for 26 cards, so even after that, I have all of this paper that I just showed you, this additional stack of paper left. I mean, lots of paper left out of the 48 sheets. I have all of this paper left, even a bunch of little parts and pieces that I can use on things. So lots left over after the 20 cards. I have probably half of a roll of ribbon. So I would say maybe just under 5 yards of ribbon left after 20 cards. And I didn't really use the bees just because they are a little bit, they're a little bit heavy and they are a little bit thick. And I wanted to be able to mail these cards. If you're going to be giving away cards, or if you're willing to spend a little bit more on postage, or if you're gonna make a 3D item, a little box, a little treat holder of some kind, these are absolutely perfect for that. I wanted to stay away from that because I wanted my cards to be mailable with a regular stamp, a first class postage stamp. So, you'll notice that I didn't use these, but you can, and I also didn't use any bling, which is crazy for me, but you can always add rhinestones or whatever you want to. I just wanted to keep these cards simple and also something that you could put together with minimal supplies on your own. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make a few of the cards right up front, and then I will show you the rest of the cards. So the first one's going to start with a Whisper White thick cardstock, and I'm just going to, I've already scored it. I love to score my cards before I fold them. It makes a nice crisp edge. And then I'm going to start out with the paper. I want to tell you that when I was designing these cards, it was less like I was designing a class, and I felt more like I just was having fun figuring out how to use all of these products, and they came together so effortlessly. It was amazing to me. I had ideas, and I just kept, the paper really brings everything together, and the stamps coordinate so well with it. So I'm just using a sheet here of one of the crushed curry patterns. It's in 3 3/4 by 5, and I'll layer that on a black mat. And then I'm going to add another little strip of designer series paper here. It's 2 by 3 3/4. I'm just adding that with some snail adhesive. Whoops, I don't want to put that on there. I want to put it on a little piece of old olive first. So this is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. I'm going to get a different, my snail isn't working for some reason. It's a little too gummy. Okay, we're going to add that. Sorry, we have some dogs barking in the background. That's how it works sometimes. So here's our card front. Look how fast that comes together. It's just so beautiful with those papers. So here's our card front. And then I don't have any more of the pre-printed die cuts that come with it because I use them. I have 2 more left that I didn't use. But they're very similar to this. Let me just show you the finished card. And this is a pre-printed die cut, so all I did was pop that up with dimensionals. And then this label shape is also pre-printed, pre-cut, and all I did was stamp one of the sentiments from the stamp set right on that label and pop it up. So you can see how easy these cards come together, especially when you have focal points that are pre-printed and ready to go. I just pop them up with dimensionals. So there's the first card. I'm going to do several of these because they come together so quickly. So here's another Whisper White, thick. Make sure you use the thick cardstock for your card base. It's going to be nice and sturdy. We'll start out with another one of the black and white patterns. Or you could do this, I mean, it's just so pretty on either side, but we'll make this black and white. I love that tile pattern too. Very geometrical. So we'll add this down the side. I used, well, first let me put this one on. This is a little piece of black, 1 1/4 by 4. Our designer series paper was a 2-inch strip by 5 1/2. So this just is going across the bottom. I like doing this little, just a basic little cross in the corner. Then I've taken another sheet of the Botanical Prints die cut, or designer series paper, and I die cut it with the Stitched Shapes circle. Just add that over the top with some snail. Really pretty. And then the thing I love about it, the images from the stamp set are going to coordinate perfectly with a lot of the imagery on the designer paper. which Stampin' Up! Does an awful lot, but I just really love this imagery. So here's one that is a flower that matches this paper, and I've just stamped it in the Memento black ink. And then you can use the dies to cut that shape out, so no fussy cutting needed. And I'm going to pop that up, and again, I'll show you the finished card. I used a pre-cut and pre-printed label that I just stamped the sentiment on, popped that up with dimensionals, and then added that die, or the die cut stamped image over the top of it. And that's it. So simple. If you wanted to add some rhinestones, you could certainly do that and give it a little sparkle. But I just thought it was so easy and so quick. Okay, next. We're gonna fly right through these. This is crushed curry. It's 11 by 4.5, scored at 5.5 for a vertical card. So there's our card base. We're gonna have a Whisper White layer and also a little strip of more of the black and white paper. So this is a 2-inch strip across a 4 by 5.25 piece of Whisper White. So we'll put that on our background. All right, so let's make the focal point. When you get down to a bunch of little pieces, those are great for making little collages out of the pieces. So here are a couple of different designer series papers. I'm just gonna, I think they're cut at 1.5 square, of course. So some of our lemons with the crushed curry background, and then some of the lemons that are just the black and white. And the thing I love about it, the designs that I'm doing in this tutorial, you can do, of course, just as I have them, or you can use other papers from the kit and just use the layout and do them in different colors if you want to. So you could do, the other side was that pretty terracotta tile. So you could make this a terracotta tile card. So here's our background. I'm just gonna add that directly to our card front. Then I've already die cut another stitch shapes circle in Old Olive, and I'm gonna pop that up with some dimensionals. And then again, you can just use the pre-printed focal points to add this to your card. So here is the pre-printed one. If you run out, like right now, I've run out of my pre-printed ones. I can't remember how many exactly are on the sheet. You get 2 sheets of the pre-printed ones, but this is the stamped version. So I just used the stamp from the set, and I colored it in with the Mango Melody and light Old Olive, and that works just as well. So it's not exactly, but it looks really cute on there. Still works. So we'll add that. And then the bottom, of course, we're just gonna add some ribbon. This is why I did a vertical card, so I could tie this ribbon all the way around. I love this ribbon. It's, like I said, it's a twill, but it's really soft and very flexible, so it's easy to tie. And I just tied it in a double knot. We're gonna make a little faux bow out of it. And I do have one more. It's the last one that I had from my pre-printed sheet, so we'll go ahead and stamp that and finish this card up for you. I'm going to stamp it in Old Olive and use the Friend sentiment. Whoops, that's a little high. It's okay. A little high. And then I'm going to add that with some dimensionals. And I'm actually, since it's going to be over the top of that ribbon, I'm going to use some skinny strips here. You can use the, we sell strips of dimensionals, but you can kind of make your own here. So take the back off. And I'd probably want to put 4 of these on, but I'm just going to put 2 on for the sake of time. So put those right on the edge there. That way it's going to go around that ribbon a little bit better. Let's even that up. And then put our Friend sentiment right over the top. All right. So you can see you can make just about the same card, even though you're using the stamped version versus the pre-printed version. But the pre-printed is so fast, and you get quite a few of them in there, so you can make those cards really easily to start with. So there's our third one. All right, let's try one in terracotta tile. And this one we're going to do a little bit more stamping. So we'll show you how to use some of those images. My favorite image from this stamp set is the image that we just stamped with the lemons. And I'm going to stamp that in terracotta tile. I'm just going to stamp randomly. Now you notice when I'm doing random, I go in a diagonal first and always start in the middle and then build out from there. That way you're not going to have any white space trapped in the middle that is too small for the stamp. You don't want any overlapping images, at least I never do. So always go to the center, and then you can always just add little bits of leaves and things on the outer edges and on the corners. Okay, so there is our background. We're going to use some of the terracotta tile designer series paper. And this one is 2.5 by 5.5. We're going to put that on a 2 3/4 by 5.5 strip of black. Whoops, that's not the right length. What did I do? I didn't cut that right. We're just going to have to cut that off later. All right, let's put that on the card front and then we'll trim it. Sometimes I just don't get them cut correctly, apparently. So I'll put this down the side, and then we'll just use our paper trimmers. I love these it gives me an excuse to show you the super sharp paper snips, not trimmers, paper snips. These are awesome. They're just little, but they are so sharp, and they cut right to the edge. I mean, super sharp. You can get into a lot of detail there. So there is our card front. Again, I have another die cut here with the Stitch Shapes framelits. We're just going to add that right here. And then I'll show you the finished card. I used another die cut, so this is all pre-printed. The pre-printed label, I stamped on that. Both of those are popped up. And then check out these little leaves. These little leaves are part of the die pack here. So that's what you get. You actually get 2 of them, so you can cut 2 at a time. And they're so cute, but that just adds a little bit of foliage around your pre-printed and gives you a little bit extra texture. I love that. And this is the one card that I just showed how you can put that bee on there, and the bee looks amazing. I love the bees. They're just a little bit, if you can see, they're a little bit thick, and by the time I get that in an envelope, I am scared that the post office isn't gonna love that. So just be aware, the bees are super cute, but they're probably either for hand stamped cards that are going to cost a little bit more, hand delivered cards, or a treat holder or a box or something like that, packaging. Okay. Next card. We have two more that I'm going to show you, and then I'll give you a sneak peek of the rest. So this is Pretty Peacock. And this time we're also going to stamp a random background. First I need to clean my stamp off. I'm going to use my Simply Chamois. This is a brand new one. It's so pretty. It always makes me go, oh, I hate to get it dirty. But I'm going to wipe off some of the ink and then just clean it. And then it's so fast with cleaning. I love those Simply Chamois. Okay, so this time we're going to use some Pear Pizzazz. And we're going to stamp just like we did before. Start out in the corner and stamp to the corner and go down the line and fill in. And then just put a couple of little leaves on the edges if you have any. So there is our background, and we're going to add this to, this is a 3 3/4 by 5. And I'll put that on a black mat. We'll add that to our Pretty Peacock card base. And then this time we're going to do a little collage with our Designer Series paper. So this is a 1 3/4 by 4, I believe. And then, whoops, did I not? Oh, here it is. Then I have another little circle that I die cut with the stitch shapes. We're going to add that, about right here. And we're going to take that same stamp, got a dimensional backing on there. They stick everywhere, those little rascals. So I'm just going to cut this out with a die cut that goes with it. So you have this. And I'm going to just use some snail to add this to the card. I love this. It's just a little collage look. And then I don't have any more of the labels that I want to use, so I did die cut a different shape. This is from the Stitched So Sweetly. And I'm just going to stamp. So if you run out of die cuts that go with this medley, just use some of your own. Or, you know, cut out a square shape or whatever. Use a punch and do a circle. So here's one with the Stitch So Sweetly. I'm going to pop that up. Oh, before I pop that up, I wanted to show you this one. I actually used some ribbon on the background. And I'm going to use some tear and tape to add that. So just a couple of strips of tear and tape here on the back of my die cut. If I can get that off. If you have trouble getting the backing off, it's usually because you need to push down, make sure it's nice and adhered, clear to the edge, and then it should come off. Okay. All right, so here's my die cut. I'm going to put just a little bit of ribbon folded behind it. So if you use that tear and tape, that gives you enough sticky that you can just add that on there very easily. Then we can do some dimensionals, just a couple. And I like to make sure the dimensional is not just on the ribbon, but also on a little bit of the cardstock as well, because it'll tend to stick on the cardstock more than the ribbon. Excuse me. All right, so we'll add this right to the top here. So here is my version that I did with the Stitch So Sweetly. So when you run out of the die cuts that come with the medley, you can do that. This is the one that I made with the die cut that comes with the product medley. So, and I just stamped the I'm always here for you. That's another one of the sentiments. So you can see very close, and you can continue to duplicate these cards. All right, one more that I'm going to show you, and then we'll see the rest of the 20 card kit. All right, this one has a lot of different elements on it. I'm going to show you how to make the, let's see, we're going to use, oh, here we go. We're going to use the flower stamp again. And I'm just going to stamp a little bit in between, or on the edge, I should say. And I'll show you how easy it is just to color those in. I'm going to use the Pool Party. I'm not going to do all the coloring just because it'll take a little bit too long, but if I use just the Pool Party dark to color in the flowers, we'll just do one of them here. And then use the Pretty Peacock to just add a little bit of darker color to, let me see if this side will work a little bit better. I think there we go. I'm losing a little bit of ink. I need to get a replacement. There we go. So you can see I just added a little bit of the darker tone to the center, and it just gives it a little bit of extra shading. So you'll continue to add that all the way around. I just added the light Old Olive to the leaves, and you might want to add to the stems. I think I used some light soft suede for that. And so that's the Stitch Shapes circle. Again, we have the friend, which is on a pre-printed die cut, just a little bow here. Now the background is what I really wanted to show you. This is so, so fun. And you get 4 of these, and again, you have the white on the back, so you can make it any color you want to. But to attach that, I would normally want to maybe use a sponge and some multi-purpose liquid glue. But when I was doing it really fast, I just did some dabs of snail, and you can't really see that through. It does make it a little sticky on your work surface, so you want to make sure that's the last card, which that's the last one I'm going to be demonstrating, so you don't want to ruin your surface just for that. But when you put this down, it really kind of blends together, and you don't see a lot of the sticky. If you do, you can just kind of roll it off with your finger. But yeah, that's how you do the background. And just add your shapes. You'll have this all colored and come up with that. And if you wanted to, you could add little die cuts around your sentiment, and rhinestones or whatever other embellishments that might work with that as well. So lots of different ways that you can play with the pieces and parts in this product medley. Okay, again, let me review. We're doing the whole card tutorial is with the product medley. That's Botanical Prints. I'm sorry about my dogs if you can hear them. They're going nuts upstairs. So you get the stamp set, you get the die cuts, you get all of the designer series paper, which this is just what I have left. 48 sheets, 6 different double-sided patterns, 8 of each. You're going to get the twill ribbon. You're going to get the little bee embellishments. And all of those things come in a kit, a product medley that is normally priced $70. Right now, because it's on the last chance retired list, it is 40% off. So it's only $42. $42 and you get all those things. I mean, usually $42 is just the bundle of the stamp set and the dies. So you get all these other pieces. Plus, I'm going to give you a 20 card tutorial. And all you need to do is purchase that product medley. So just purchase the Botanical Prints product medley. It's $42. I'm going to send you a PDF for 20 cards. The 6 cards that I just showed you are going to be included on that tutorial. Plus, you're going to get an additional 14 cards, ideas that you can make. So all of these cards will be on here. And where's my last one? Here we go. So all of these that we just showed are going to be on there. Let me show you some of the rest of them. All of the rest of them, actually. I know you want to see what they look like, right? So let me get those. I was so excited to put these together, and I'm so excited to show them to you. All right, so here we go. This one is just it's a Pretty Peacock card base, cut off a little bit. I put some of that really cute striped paper along the bottom. And this time I used those decorative corners, so you can die cut those. They make a really cute accent to your focal point. The ribbon, pre-printed, so you don't have to stamp or color or anything, just put them right on there. Pre-printed label, stamp that on there, good to go. So there is that one. This one also uses the decorative corners. I used 4 of them with the crushed curry. These I did stamp and color with the Stampin' Blends marker, and I die cut them with the dies. Again, another twill ribbon, stitched shapes dies, so that's a good die set to have. You can, a lot of these cards use shapes from there as layers. Next, we have another Pretty Peacock card. This time, some coordinating black and white and Pretty Peacock Designer Series paper. This is a Stitch Shapes framelit again, or dies, with some twill at the bottom. I stamped another one of those images. I hadn't really used that a lot, but it is a really cute berry, has little berries on it, and colored those in with Stampin' Blends. Pre-printed label with a stamped sentiment. All right, next, this is another Pretty Peacock, and I stamped that background, very similar to what we did on this one, just did it in Pretty Peacock, and the flower images, stamped the flower image, colored that with the Stampin' Blends, and then I did a Stitched Shapes die cut for that sentiment. Here's another one, a cute little gatefold, and great way to showcase the different Designer Series papers. Pre-printed, so just pop that up with some dimensionals over a Stitch Shapes Pretty Peacock square, and another pre-printed label. So you can see you get a lot of pre-printed labels. Here's another. This one again is a kind of a shorter cut front on the front, and a pre-printed die cut. Stamp that right on the oval Stitched Shapes die. Really, really cute. And you can see all of these colors just really coordinate so well together. There are a lot of contrasting colors, so they really pop. I love this terracotta tile and black. It's so elegant. And this is great because it uses strips of paper. So when you get down to your little bits and pieces that you have left, you can make a lot of cards like this in whatever colors that you have left. And this is a stamped image that I die cut just in a black, just to give it a little bit more interest along with that Stitched Shapes square that we have there. There are a couple of die cuts that are not in the main color coordination. So there's a rich raspberry die cut here. So I made a couple, there's actually 2, and I made a card with that. So you can see the Stitch Shapes die square. I stamped in rich raspberry on the pre-cut label, a little bit of ribbon down at the bottom. Super cute and easy. Here's another with the rich raspberry pre-printed. And again, just layers of that. There's some of the Designer Series paper that's a little more white than black, and this one's a little more black than white. And so I put that contrast in there with a little bit of Pretty Peacock and a cute little sentiment. Here is another one. This time I used the back side of that die cut background. So it has Pretty Peacock on one side, and I just used the white background with some banners. This is another one of the pre-printed dies or die cuts, and it's in the cherry cobbler, so a little bit different than the color combination that is on the Designer Series paper, but it shows you how easy it is to put some contrasting colors on there. This one just has a little pop of red. And then I also, you get 4 of these images, so I used another one with a background. I stamped the random background in black on old olive, and another cute circle with the designer series paper and a little pop of color. This is, if you know Mary Engelbright, I think that's her name. It kind of reminds me of her imagery. Okay, here's some fun things you can do. So the designer series paper, it comes with black and white printed. So here's the paper, how it started, just black and white prints with the terracotta tile background. So I use my Stampin' Blends, Mango Melody and the light Old Olive to color those in and bring it into a whole different realm. So I love that. You can really alter the look of any of the papers just by adding colors of your choice. A little strip of the stripes, I put in some more of those little leaves die cuts, and I stamped the image and colored it in the same way I colored the background. Little friend popped up there too. I also altered the striped paper. You can use your Stampin' Blends or sponge dauber to add color to the striped paper and make, whoops, it's upside down, and make it any color that you want. So I love that. I added some terracotta tile. Again, the pre-printed, lots of pre-printed imagery on here. So it's so simple to put these cards together really, really fast. Here's another one, and this is the last one. And this one, I used that, let's see if I can find that paper. So here's the paper and how it started with the black and white imagery. And I just colored that in with some Mango Melody and the light Old Olive to make it a whole different look for the background. Did some simple stamping with not cherry cobbler, obviously, crushed curry. And then tied that up with a little bit of ribbon, layered that pre-cut label, and stamped that sentiment over the top. I love how that one turned out as well. So there you have it. Those are all 20 cards, so many that you can make. And like I said, you have so much left over. You have 5 yards left of ribbon. You have so much of the paper. I mean, look at all this paper and even a lot of scraps left that you can use on a gazillion cards. I still have the bees that are really great for 3D projects, and the stamp set and dies that you can continue to use over and over. So all of this is in the Botanical Prints product medley. Normally $70, it's only $42 right now, but it's on the retired list, which means it could sell out at any time. I'm hoping it doesn't sell out before you get a chance to get this, because this kit is amazing. So for my offer, my class offer this time, we're not, the main offer is a 20 card tutorial, just the instructions. You'll get that for free when you place an order with me. And if you purchase the Botanical Prints product medley, that's $42. You need to place at least a $42 order. So buy the product medley, or if you already have it, or maybe you don't want to, you want to try it, you just want the card layouts and you want to use them with different stamps that you already have, just place a $42 order, and I will send you that 20 card tutorial, show you how to put these all together, step by step, full color instructions, and you can play with these on your own. Now, if you want to make it super easy, you can actually place a $100 order, and I'm going to send you a free add-on kit. Now, what do I mean by an add-on kit? It means when you get the product medley, you're going to get the stamps, the paper, the ribbon, the embellishments, everything that you need except the card bases and different layers that you might use to stamp on or to, excuse me, and for the background. So I'm going to send you in the add-on kit all of those layers. So for instance, on this card, you would get the crushed curry card base, you get the little strip of black right here, you get the stamped layer, the whisper white layer to stamp on, the black matte behind it, this little piece of black here, and this crushed curry little banner that you can put under your sentiment. So a lot of different card pieces that you would need to go along with your product medley products, and then you'll be all ready to go. So then all you do is add the inks and add the adhesives and you're good to go. So in that add-on kit, you're going to get all the card bases, you're going to get all of the die cuts. So if you don't have the stitch shapes dies, I'm going to send you all of those cardstock dies. For this one, you just get the mat to put behind the designer series paper and the card base. For this one, you're going to get the card base already pre-cut and scored at the right place, and the mat and the little strip and the oval. So all of the die cuts that you see that aren't already in your kit are going to be in this add-on kit. So it makes it super easy. You'll have everything that you need in order to put those together. Just add inks, just add Stampin' Blends, just add adhesives. Everything else will be there, right there at your fingertips. So again, you can get that for free, and it's with a $100 order at toocoolstamping.com. Click on the Shop Now link. So I hope that you guys enjoy that kit. Get it now before it sells out. I think once this gets out, that I don't think people have overlooked this product medley. And once people realize it's only $42 and you can make all of these awesome things with it, I just feel like it's going to sell out very quickly. So make sure that you go in today as soon as you can, place an order. You can find it at toocoolstamping.com. Click on the Shop Now link. And don't forget, you really need to put that host code in there so that I know that this is the free, you want to redeem this free tutorial. Oh, I also wanted to add, when you get the add-on kit with all the cardstock pieces and all of the pre-cut, pre-die cut cardstock, you also get envelopes. So you really will be ready to send those cards. And of course you get the 20 card tutorial that comes with it automatically. And free shipping. So it's all included. All you gotta do is place that $100 order and you'll get all the parts and pieces to go with your kit, including measurements. I know you're gonna have that designer series paper. I'm gonna have the measurements that you'll need to cut those down to the appropriate sizes for all of your card bases, or for all of your card layers as well. All right, you guys, I hope that you've enjoyed watching this. I hope that you're inspired and are excited about the Botanical Prints product medley as much as I had fun creating it. It just was really, it's like the most fun I've had making cards in a while, because usually I kind of have an idea of a class and it's very intentional and purposeful about the class. This, I just sat down and started making, and it was so effortless with all of the different pre-cut pieces and the labels already ready to go. Just stamp and pop them up. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. Again, if you place the $42 order, you'll get the card tutorial for all 20 cards, or if you place a $100 order with that host code, you'll get the tutorial, envelopes, and all, it's an add-on kit. So you get all of the card bases and all of the cardstock, layers, and pre-cut pieces that you'll need to make the cards as I've shown in the tutorial. All right, everybody, enjoy this card kit, enjoy this product medley, and I'll see you back here next week on Thursday at 9 a.m. for our next live class. It's the final week before the brand new catalog comes out. By the way, if you're in need of a new catalog, and you haven't gotten one yet from me, I send them out to my current customers. But if you are not working with another demonstrator and would like a catalog, I'll be sending those out starting tomorrow. And you can request one by just going to toocoolstamping.com, and you'll see the information there. You can fill out a mailing list form, and I will get one in the mail to you. You're going to want that catalog because it's phenomenal. It comes out June 3rd. So, and we'll start to be playing with a lot of those new products very, very soon. So I will see you next week. Until then, this is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. Bye-bye.